Welcome to the XUCPA channel. We're on tip 25, and tip 25 is perhaps the most important thing that business owners need to know, especially when you file your tax return this year for year 2020. I know a lot of business owners, typically when you hire a CPA or accountant, your expectation is that you would pass the baton and you would pass this great task to your CPA, your tax accountant, your tax preparer, or your bookkeeper, because you simply don't start your business because you love accounting and taxes. That's very understandable, but let me warn you, this year you gotta be particularly careful, especially for those business owners who actually have separate bookkeepers, and I'm gonna explain why. Specifically for PPP, there has been a lot of changes. So if you recall, Revenue Ruling 2020-27 earlier in year 2020, what Congress wanted is really for payroll expenses to be deductible even when you receive free money through PPP funds, which is the Paycheck Protection Program, but IRS disagreed. So IRS actually came out with a ruling to say that because gross income is not included as taxable income, and therefore payroll expenses funded through PPP funds are technically not deductible. Now, the Congress has overruled December 27 of last year. There's a new revenue ruling, and this revenue ruling is 2021-02. It is actually saying that all payroll expenses are now deductible. So what that means to you is that PPP funds, the free money, is not taxable. However, you can deduct payroll expenses funded through PPP money. So isn't that a double bonus? Yes, absolutely. However, mistakes could happen, and this double bonus may not be a double bonus for some people, and here are the possibilities of how mistakes could happen. Number one, so a lot of business owners are still in the process of asking for forgiveness. I know not very many people have received full forgiveness just because, the rules keep changing, the forgiveness rules are changing, there's a lot of updates, so financial institutions are not 100% sure of the way to administer the forgiveness. So what's happening now is that when the PPP funds came in, your bookkeepers, your accountants, or your CPA most likely would record it as, loan, PPP loan, which is correct because technically it is a loan. Now, for a handful of people who have received forgiveness, there are a couple of possibilities. One is that your bookkeeper might actually book it as other income because this other income is not related to your sales, not related to your revenue, therefore it's other income. Or, mistakes could happen when they actually just receive it as a deposit and then count it as income, so that could also happen. So as a business owner, you want to be careful. Now, this is a part that bigger issue could happen. Now you have a bookkeeper recorded under other income without description, or recorded as income without description, and the problem is that your CPA might mistakenly actually include that as taxable income. So you gotta be careful that PPP funds, if you record it as other income, you need to make sure that you tag it, that you let your tax preparer understand that that amount is relating to PPP, therefore not taxable. And at the same time, the other mistake that could happen is that sometimes bookkeepers or accountants don't do proper payroll reconciliation, and without proper payroll reconciliation, the mistake could happen that your full payroll expenses funded through PPP have not been deducted correctly on your tax return. The mistake is that if payroll reconciliations are not done properly, you might miss out payroll expense deduction. So here are some of the tips, and I hope that you have learned something. If you have doubts, or you hesitate, or you don't understand this video at all, please feel free to reach out. We would love to help you, and I will share more tips with you tomorrow. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.